Okay, B'si'ata Dishmaya. We are going to be continuing with Neshama, Neshima, the Jewish breathwork series. And we're up to a part that's called Besod Harikuz. We're on page 86, the 16th little chapter here. Besod Harikuz, the secret of focus. Ma she'elatech u'ma bakashatech. What is your ask? What is your request? Right? Like Achashverosh said to Esther. What is it that you want? This is focus. Incha kvar mekir et hasod? Do you already know the secret? Rav Levi Yitzchak Zatzal would ask Rav Levi Yitzchak Binder, which was the Rebbe of Rav Bezinson. He was the head of the Breslev bridge from Europe to Mea Sharim. He was the bridge. He was the one that brought Breslev into Eretz Yisrael pretty much. And he was the Rebbe of Rav Bezinson, the person the Rebbe that made this book. And he would ask his new students, do you already know the secret? Do you know the secret yet? And when they really came close, when they really started to get into the yeshiva and they really started to learn, their answer was always the same. No. I have no idea. No idea what it is. A lot of people now that make secrets known and famous out there in the world, there's a doubt if they ever knew the truth like these students did. That you don't know the secret. All these people that are revealing secrets in the world, how much do they know that they don't really know? For example, Soda Meshicha, the secret of attraction, the secret of power, the secret of wealth, the secret of cycles in life, of reincarnations. A lot of people, right, a lot of these ideas and these secrets are out there in the market. They're out there to be found. What about the secret of focus? That all of our might is dependent on just our focus. Shouldn't someone be talking more about focus a little bit, how to really get into it? It's the shorish, it's the root of all of the might and all of the things you could ever do in this world is a little bit of focus. Right? Even if a person wants to get into spirituality, wants to meditate, the first thing you need to do is constrict your mind, is focus, is to come down. Let's start with the Torah of Reb Nachman, that he makes a promise there, befirush, that a person could do whatever they want. Da, she'amachshava yesh la tokef gadol. Reb Nachman says, this is in Likutei Moharan in the 193rd teaching. Know that the mind has immense power. If you strengthen and amplify your mind over some idea in the world, you can make it happen that it will be that way. What we call in the world manifestation. And even if he strengthens his mind very much that he should have money, for sure he will have it. וכן בכל דבר שרק שהמחשבה תהיה בביטול כל הרגשות. What's the condition now? בכל דבר רק שהמחשבה תהיה בביטול כל הרגשות. Just the thought, that manifestation has to be nullified from all emotions. I need it, I want it, you have to give it to me. Right? I'll be so happy if I get it, I'll be so broken if I don't. Manifest without all of your emotions in it. Bring something down into the world without all the emotional attachment to it. Just because that's what's meant to be, that's what you need. You need money, okay? Not that you're going to be so much better if you do have it, or if you're going to be broken if you don't have it. No, I need it. Just manifesting, just bring it into the world. The question is, how do we strengthen our mind? If the mind is so strong that it could manifest anything we need in the world, how do we get to that point where we can do that with our mind? How do we nullify all of the emotions that prevent us from getting what we're intending to get, what we're trying to manifest? Listen now to the answer of one mighty person from our times. In a biographical book, Zirot Chayai, the scenes of my life, Mesaper Harav Rafael Halperin, Raphael Halperin tells, "Echu zachal ligvura dira hen b'inyane guf, osher lekavod l'shem shamayim, vehen li'nyane nefesh." How he got to amazing astronomical levels when it came to physicality, to just the body, and wealth and honor for the sake of heaven, and also when it came to the soul. Shelo pasag girsa mipume, he never stopped learning. He finished Shas a few times, several times in his life, and he made tons of different books for Zikuy Rabim and for Kiru, for different people. And he did so much chesed for all the people that were in such a hard time. Rav Bezinson had a sister that was a widow. He writes here that one time, this rabbi, Rav Halperin, he was 80 years old. He used to have a motorcycle, a loud motorcycle, legendary motorcycle. And 80 years old, he just heard about this widow woman that was without money. He went, this is 23 years ago. He went and gave her 3,000 shekel. That's a lot of money back then. It's a lot of money back then, right? For this rabbi, just heard of this widow that's in need of something, took his motorcycle right across Jerusalem, 80 years old, with a big long beard, suit, right? Dropped off an envelope with 3,000 cash for this lady. That lady was Rav Bezinson, the author of this book, Rav Bezinson's sister. Right? So he's telling us who this person is, just as an introduction, who we're about to get advice from. A person that finished Shas tons of times in his life, made tons of books, helped, did chesed for so many people at 80 years old, rolling around in a Harley, handing out stacks of money, right? And he says like this, Rav Bezinson wants to say thanks to him. Because of him, a lot of this is happening and coming out into the world. So he's saying here, whoever starts to teach Torah down here and pushes out a lot of Torah down here, it must be that he continues to do it up in Shamayim, right? Because he's still teaching lessons and there's still books coming out and teachings of this rabbi. So he says, like, where were they when he was alive? No one heard of these ideas. They're coming out now. So it must be a sign that, like he taught Torah down here, he's going to teach up above as well. Sat Hashem. Kodem kol. The rabbi speaks, this Rav Halperin, he speaks about the secret of focus. And the words come, his idea comes from the Ramchal, Rav Moshe Chaim Lutzato. The Ramchal writes like this, Hazmana le'divrei avoda v'amitzvot. This is from Mesilat Yesharim, the Path of the Just, in the 17th chapter, right? That the invitation, Hazmana lidivrei havoda v'amitzvot, the invitation to Torah and mitzvot, to keeping the words of Hashem. Hainu shelo yikanes b'kiyum hamitzvah befeta pitom she'ein da'ato adayin miyushevet alav v'yechola lidbonen b'ma shu oseh. A person shouldn't go into Torah and mitzvot when their mind, that means in general, and also to actually, right, you're about to start learning Torah, it's your time to learn Torah. Don't just show up and from the street go into learning Torah. Right? Don't go into any shacharit or into mincha, just shoom, off the street, you run into the shul. You shouldn't go into any mitzvah until your mind is settled and you're able to actually contemplate what is it that you're going to do. Right? You, rather, how should you do it? You prepare yourself for the thing, prepare your heart with patience, until you can go inside a contemplation, a meditation, and then think about what is it that I'm about to go do, and who am I doing it in front of. And when you start to go into this mindset, this contemplation, it will be much easier for you to get rid of all of the other ulterior motives and all of the external things, and you'll be able to establish your heart with a proper desired intention, says the Ramchal. And he continues, ותראה שהחסידים הראשונים היו שועים שעה אחת קודם תפילתם ואחר כך מתפללים. The first Hasidim, right, meaning the people that the Gemara calls the pious people, it was a long, long time ago, they would show up an hour before prayer and they would be present there. Shohim, the word there is that they would sit there, they would be present for an hour before they would pray and after they would pray. Only after being present for an hour. In order to have the proper intention when they start praying. They would sit just an hour to get there. The Ramchal says for sure they weren't just sitting there for an hour doing nothing. They were preparing themselves and preparing their heart and applying the intention needed, that the heart needed, in order for the prayer they were about to pray. They would push away from them and reject from upon them all of the false and foreign thoughts, and they would fill themselves up with awe and with love that were needed. It's from the Ramchal, right? From the book, The Path of the Just, which is essentially a preparation for prophecy, right? But that's exactly what we're getting into here. What is the secret of focus? You have to prepare yourself. You have to get into it before you. Don't just run off the street into something. Don't just get out of life. And after that, Rav Raphael Halpern continues in his book, and he says how to acquire focus. A person who wants to learn the idea, the secret of focus. First things first, has to learn self-discipline. And in order for that, you have to know some fundamental ideas. First things first, you have to know and you have to learn how to breathe. First things first, needed for focus is proper breath. We, us city dwellers, we got used to very external, surface level, short breathing. And that's not what we're talking about. Breathing has to be done with practice and with an approach, right? With a method. You should breathe, meaning you should inhale with a long, deep, slow breath, pure, clean air. And you have to do this with as much focus as possible through your nostrils specifically. And when you are practicing, you have to feel as if every single breath is as if you're taking a whiff of a beautiful fragrance, a wonderful scent. And you have to feel how your lungs are filling up slowly but surely with this refreshing, pure and clear air, and is flowing into you, this flow, this stream of life and health. And when you come to exhale, it has to be done very slowly, watched over by way of the mouth. And in order to lengthen your exhale, close your teeth and your lips and let the air filter out slowly but surely. This kind of breathing, slow and focused breathing, focusing on the process of breath is the main thing. In other words, your thoughts have to escort the breath. Your mind, so to say, is escorting the air into you and escorting the air out of you. This same rabbi was a master in karate. Right? He's got the motorcycle, he's giving money to everybody, he's finishing shas, he's praying, he's writing books, doing kiruv, also a master in karate. And his whole entire intention was just to sanctify Hashem's name in the world. And that's only understood by someone, he says here, Rav Benson, someone who saw everything that happened and all the outcome of the Shoah, of the Holocaust. He lived through that generation, made it through it. His whole entire goal was just to make people connect back to Hashem, and that Hashem should be known in the world. In the other chapters in his book, in his breathtaking book, Rav Raphael Halperin talks about his life and all of the adventures he went through and the lessons he learned and the different meetings he had with the biggest people in the world of Torah and the biggest leaders of the world, diplomats. And his 13th chapter, though, is the secret of life, and that's the secret of focus. The only way that you can get to that level of focus is by way of practicing your breath. And that's the secret of might. You want to be a strong person, you want to get things done, you want to have the ability to fight and to keep going. All of that depends on your ability to be focused. And all of that depends on your breath. So that's the process. The more we practice our breathing, by way of our mind escorting the breath in and escorting the breath out, that will give us more focus, because we're focusing on what we're doing. We're taking time to breathe, and every day you breathe with consciousness, you're just becoming a more focused person. And that focus will give you the ability, when you need strength, to focus on the goal, to focus on what it needs to be, to block out anything that's preventing you from getting there. So now we have the question, Ma bakashatech? What's your request? Achashverosh asked Esther, what's the question you have? What is your request? What's the thing you want most in life? Ask yourself, what is it? What's the most important thing to me in my life right now? And as soon as you get the proper answer, you have to leave everything else that's afflicting your soul and that's confusing and distracting your soul, and to focus only and only and only on what you want to accomplish and what you want to bring into this world. Whatever the author of Halperin wanted in his life, he achieved it, he got it. Because that's how the Creator made the world. That everything goes according to your will, according to what you want. Everybody says that, even if they don't really know it. But not many people know that nothing can stand in front of your will, but you have to have a strong will. It has to be a will of might. It has to have focus. And how do you get that? That's by way of holy breathing. And then holy breathing will bring a person to their goal, will bring their person to their success. Okay, that's it. We'll stop here for now. B'ezrat Hashem, we are up to an amazing chapter, which is Hey Matai Katimar. When are you coming, Mashiach? When is the Mashiach coming in our next class? B'ezrat Hashem, this is the question that the Baal Shem Tov HaKadosh asked the Mashiach.